long time since there's been you and me now I think about it.
Yep. So we got out of Annihilation.
Yeah, we did.
That
sucked.
I don't know what I think about it, but I can tell you I did not enjoy it.
I found it thoroughly frustrating.
That's a good way to put it.
That's more or less sums up my thought. I found that for a movie that's pretending to be really smart and really idealistic, or not even idealistic, just innovative or ambitious, involves insanely stupid people doing insane. These are the worst scientists I've seen in a long fucking time, and that kept pissing me off. Like, this movie is riddled with plot holes. And I kept picking up, and like a lot of me yelling in my head, "That makes no sense! It doesn't make any sense! If you have any idea what refraction is, that makes no fucking sense!" I won't get to that. Okay, that's a rant all its own.
Yeah, I get what they're trying to mention. It's the idea of like everything kind of making a weird transference, but it's just
why not use the word transference? Refraction makes no sense in the context of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Because I studied physics. I'm no physicist, but I know what refraction is. I spent a whole semester learning about it. That is not refraction.
Yeah, because it's the bending of light.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like you're okay. Well, that involves a spoiler. Do we care about spoilers for this film?
We'll get to it in a bit.
All right, so we'll build up to that. But first off, and this is some shit I pointed out in the trailers too. It's like, okay. So the concept of this movie is Natalie Portman plays a biologist who, after a certain point, finds out her husband, Oscar Isaac, disappeared for 12 months and then comes back and then is immediately sent to a hospital, which is then intercepted by government agents, and then quarantined by the worst quarantine officers I've ever seen. Another thing, that there was a lot of stupid shit that just piled on and irritated the crap out of me, and that was one of them. And Natalie Portman is dragged along there with them, also not quarantined for some reason. Even though I had direct exposure to the person that quarantined, so it doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't quarantine her as well. Yeah. But they gave her swanky new duds for some reason, but whatever.
Unless they examined her after they knocked her unconscious with that night-night drug.
Then why quarantine him at all? Anyway.
I don't know.
One step at a time here. I gotta take it slow. Yeah. As at that point, we're introduced to Ventress.
Yeah, played by Jennifer Jason Leigh, a.k.a. that... I believe that was the crazy, what's-her-face from Hateful Eight.
Yeah, it took me forever to place her, because everyone just was like, oh, the girl from Orange is the New Black. It's like, no, wait, that's not right.
No, because I knew it was from Hateful Eight, I just couldn't remember the character's name that she played. I was like...
Like Sally, like, Domergue?
Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
Daisy Domergue, that was it.
Yeah.
I'd rather be watching that movie than this one. But no, like I was like, oh, it's the crazy one from Orange is the New Black. It's like, no, wait, that's not it. Bad teeth, lots of yelling. Tarantino, Hateful Eight. Yeah. Who is? Oh my God. Did you find this character as insufferable as I did?
Huh?
Did you find that character as insufferable as I did?
No, I didn't really feel much of anything for anyone.
Yeah, mostly because they just felt lifeless and dull and boring, and your friend is comparing it to 2001: A Space Odyssey, which you can tell is what it's trying to masturbate to. But it's more like it seems like a bad 2001: A Space Odyssey fan fiction. In the same vein of asking what it like, we're so deep and meaningful and so obscure.
I could get 2001: Space Odyssey.
And me too, and I don't even like that movie.
I liked 2001: Space Odyssey once I could understand it. And it's the whole idea of like, especially why you understand why everything's so purposefully slow is to mimic that weird, strange bending of time and reality. Because once it's like, oh.
Yeah, like reality, not refraction. But anyway, I'll get to that. So, okay, here's what kills me over this movie.
Here's roll up the window so our yelling doesn't frighten people.
Oh, it won't be the first time. It's also like, it's like cold outside, but it's warm in the car. There's no in between.
Yeah.
But anyway, so at this point we're introduced to the idea of the shimmer, which is this mysterious like interdimensional thing that started at a lighthouse and was spreading out to across the 5-mile radius, something like that.
I guess I can't remember.
Either way,
an area,
a certain area that keeps expanding and growing, and their solution, they've sent apparently multiple things, and none have come back except for Oscar Isaac, and
they didn't even really realize came back until he popped up at his wife's place somehow.
And then apparently had no trouble finding him afterwards.
Yeah.
One of many plot holes in the movie. By the way, Ventress, worst psychologist I've seen in a long time also. Because it's amazing how much she dodges questions and is not helpful or comforting or anything at all. Even though it's like a research psychologist would be one thing. No, she wants to be like an in-person psychologist, and she's awful at it.
Yep.
The point where, and they make her the team leader of the next squad of, all women scientists. So let me get this straight. Let's see your big plan here. You send in robots, drones, anything you can find and several groups of military escorts to go find whatever's in the stupid lighthouse. None have come back. And your idea is to send a group of 4 women, only one actually knows how to use a gun.
Well, no, that's not true, because one of them was also part of law enforcement.
2 know how to use a gun out of the, 5, 10, or 12 he sent the last group around, and somehow that's supposed to lead to more success. One of which is coming back because she has cancer, is revealed halfway through this movie. It's so why'd you send her to retrieve data back?
Well, I think because she was the one that was kind of in charge of everything. She wanted, and as she said, she just wanted to know for herself before kind of going away, I think. That's what I was able to imply.
But there's no way she doesn't have a superior officer. It's wait, no, we need you to bring information back. We're not going to send you on your own where you're probably going to die. That makes no sense.
Because it sounded like she was the superior. That's the thing.
But she says psychologist, not boss.
Yeah.
There's a big difference. It kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Why not both?
Then why would she introduce her? Anyway.
Yeah, I know.
It's still dumb. The plan is still dumb, and it's just more like you do not think to compare it with anything. And you go into this place where no one has come back. The only person that does immediately had multiple organ failures. The biologist strictly says, "Oh, he must have been exposed to radiation or something while they're inside there," and they go inside the thing without the least bit of protection, radiation gear.
Well, that was her opinion versus where they'd already probably did some scans or something like that. So
nobody has come back in something you do not know or study.
I agree with that. It's like they still did a shitty, that one guard who just fell asleep.
Yeah, that really pissed me off. Because and even if he's maybe they do scans, things clearly change in there.
Yeah.
They find out and even apparently go in there, you get knocked out within after 4 days or something like that.
Yeah, where they said they said they didn't realize what happened for the past 4 days. I don't know why that never happened again.
Yeah.
It's so if that happened, why doesn't? Yeah, it's was it just initial disorientation, or is it supposed to be something continuous? Because Oscar Isaac supposedly doesn't remember anything, or people just don't know other shit. So it's I feel like this is supposed to be a repeating pattern that doesn't repeat like everything else does.
I guess you could make the argument that Natalie Portman is technically an unreliable narrator in this.
Which I knew that's what they were going for. Especially when you notice other little changes that happen, although I assume that's because of what's caused by the whole transference thing that's going on. I pointed out how the one who used to be law enforcement, her tattoo transferred over to...
But Natalie Portman still had her tattoo, so it could just be they had matching tattoos.
No, she never had it.
No, I did. I looked at it. I saw it when they were on the boat, and when she's looking for the bear skull again. I saw that tattoo.
But if you look at the no. Wait, really?
Yeah.
I don't remember Natalie Portman ever have... Because weird things before she enters in there, she doesn't have it.
She had it on the boat.
Weird.
She also had wearing long sleeves for a good chunk of the time there, too.
Fair enough. Because I noticed it was on her forearms.
Yeah, it was on the forearms on the boat, too.
Okay. Well, never mind that, then.
At least I'm pretty sure.
Because I remember it's initially when she was in there, I don't remember her having it.
No, because remember I was bored and I was looking at her arm is that supposed to be a snake or an 8 or an infinity?
Yeah, it was a Mobius snake.
While they're on the boat doing the badly in sync paddling, which is
sailing along.
And that was annoying me too because I'm that's not how you work a boat. At that point, I'm already really annoyed by how stupid everyone is in this movie. That the little shit like that was starting to bother me all the more because I just was not at all invested in what was happening. Because it's a movie that's more focused on the imagery and the message and the actual people.
Yeah.
Which even 2001: Space Odyssey still had good, decent characters in it.
Yeah.
Man, I could not give a fuck about anyone in this film.
I was curious. I was curious about Shepard a little bit because I felt like they were putting some more effort into her than some of the others.
God.
But of course, then they kill her first.
Yeah, by Skull Bear.
Yeah. Also, it's not a spoiler because they tell you what happens in the beginning, pretty much.
Yeah, they pretty much laid out.
And I was like, well, I probably should have figured that in the beginning, but that really doesn't help the fact that it's like, well, no need to get attached.
This is what I was doing just because of the trailer. They said, can you describe its form? No, or something ultra dramatic like that. And I'm thinking, so I was just coming up with names for shit as the movie was going on. I was having way more fun doing that than actually watching the movie. Plant deer, or skull bear, or invisofish.
Or gator dun.
Or that's better than what I came up with. I was going with shark gator, but I like that one. Gator dun is better.
Let's slow it a little bit.
Yeah, there you go. Because it's still there's no in between in weather right now. This weather in California is crazy.
And battery's halfway, but I don't think we'll have enough time to do this.
I'm not gonna have that much to say about this.
So as things go on, Shepard, who is sadly not acted by Jennifer Hale.
Which one's Jennifer Hale again?
The voice actress for Shepard in Mass Effect.
Oh yeah, right. It's I know that name. I know the name. I'm sorry. I just got put to sleep for 2 hours. I had my own delayed reaction. I was not fucking a black guy in my flashback.
Yeah, I was starting to fall asleep. I was trying.
I was more just acutely aware of how small a space I was crammed into.
Yeah.
And trying to shift in your chair. Even I was starting the tapping thing that you usually do when you get bored, because I'm like, oh my god, have a point. Yeah. Oh god, this movie was dumb, and I was like, okay, this is dumb. At least some of the visual interesting, and then the first major conflict I guess happened with the second appearance of Skull Bear when one of the girls goes crazy and ties everyone up, and that's okay, this is fucking stupid. That's kind of when it lost me completely, and I was already not really invested to begin with, but that was the point where I was like, this is dumb.
I was personally okay with that just because she was already starting to show signs of kind of losing it a little bit.
Yeah, but that was kind of a leap forward into the Thane territory.
Yeah.
And more things again, leaps in logic that don't really make a whole lot of sense. Like, you're a liar. You didn't tell me you were leading this one person. It's one, none of your fucking business, and two, you didn't ask. So
actually, that's not entirely true. That is something that, in certain degrees, that should be told because that would create because that would create conflicts in which.
But that's not a lie. That doesn't make you a liar unless you count lies by omission. But even then, that still doesn't really work. So
but still, that is. I will give them credit. That is something that probably should have been shared because that's the idea of she could have been easily emotionally compromised in her decision making, which is the main concern.
That still doesn't make her a liar, though. Technically,
yeah.
It's more like if you said, "Oh, you should have told us." This is the case. Okay, maybe, but then it's no, you're a liar, and she's getting all evil movie villain on us on this whole in this whole segment. It's so if you're lying about this, why would you be lying about Skull Bear? Maybe you're trying to kill her. Everyone's okay, where are you getting this leaps in logic? Yeah.
It's didn't you? It's plus didn't you? Plus, weren't they there? I remember they were
I said, you were all fucking there. You left. I know it's because I was annoyed by you all left your easily defensible little plank where they had all the stairs and the shit the bear probably couldn't get up at.
Yeah.
And instead all came to the very open space where a bear in the dark could very easily get you.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, those two didn't know Tessa Thompson, who you also remember from Thor Ragnarok.
That's where I was recognizing her from.
Police lady, whose name I don't know. I don't remember any of the characters' names except for
Ventress. That's only because that's a DC comic book character.
Yeah, Ventress and Shepard.
Yeah, mostly because I know that those names have other better properties.
But yeah, so it's you were there when you heard Shepard. Shepard was in their general vicinity before she went screaming off into the distance.
Yeah, and Natalie Portman was right there, so it makes no sense to think she would kill her.
Yeah.
And granted, I know weird videotape of Oscar Isaac with snake intestines. Actually, I was thinking the evil Colin from Evil Dead, but
oh yeah. No wait, that's right. Because I remember. Wait, what? Now I'm starting to remember if she was law enforcement or just a paramedic.
Whatever.
Maybe she went from one to the other. Because I remember saying something about law enforcement at some point. But either way, it's care. Oh yeah, it's a trick of the light.
Which is bullshit. That's just bad CGI. That's all that is.
I thought it was good CGI, but it's I just remember there was another movie they said the same thing. I was no.
So it's more interesting visuals mixed with just dumb characters leads to a very frustrating experience.
Yeah.
Because you could have a good movie here, but you have people making dumbass decisions that don't make any sense, and these are awful, awful scientists. When you all boil it down to, because again, everyone else when they come back are wearing protective gear. Why? I mean, granted. long term, it's hard to keep protecting you're on for that long, but I don't know, something, anything.
Yeah, like, in retrospect, why didn't it, like... Okay, now that I think about it more, it's like, yeah, I mean, they're using it when they got Natalie Portman back.
But they don't use it, they don't like, you're gonna go in there for several days, you're fine.
Yeah.
That made no fucking sense to me. That was really pissing me off.
Yeah. Well, I meant the whole idea is, like, now I'm thinking about how you said no one's wearing protective gear. It's like, I thought about it, it's like, actually, yeah, why wasn't anyone wearing it?
Yeah, right?
Like they did with Portman when she's there, like, doing her, all right, what happened spiel.
Yeah, right? Okay, see, you see what I mean, though?
Yeah.
Doesn't that seem, like, insanely incompetent?
And inconsistent.
Yeah, fucking seriously. And like, something killed all the military, we don't know where they went. Just go in there with a couple of sub rifles, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You can be in bad with your fucking boat paddles or whatever else you find in there. Have fun against Shark Gator.
Yeah.
Ugh, this really pissed me off. But yeah, this all leads, and again, like the only part that I found even remotely interesting was like the final climax. Even that went on way too long.
Yeah.
Because again, like, okay, I have an interesting idea here, despite the whole weird. Like, I was thinking everybody goes to the rapture. That's all I was thinking of toward the very end, because I was like, can you describe his form? My first thought was, have you ever played Everybody Goes to the Rapture? Look at some YouTube clips. It's basically that. Which basically this giant, weird, light globe thing assimilates other people for no reason or explanation. Mixed with cloning machine. It is Attack of the Clones at the very end.
Yeah. It felt like it was trying to be the alien version of Ex Machina. With the whole idea of what happens when... With, like, the atheistic views of Sunshine, which I also can't remember if Alex Garland wrote or not.
I don't know.
But, because I got what they were trying to get at. It's the whole idea of what makes things the way they are and what happens when that order is thrown out. And the idea of, like, almost mocking a religious entity. It's like, maybe not mocking, but...
Why is it always gotta be religion, man?
Yeah. Well, because they mentioned God at some point in the beginning, the whole idea of God creating and all that.
I guess.
But because I see what they're trying to get at. It's the whole idea of, like, trying to put the sci-fi spin on creation, and trying to, because this is a subject that always fascinated me. The idea of what makes things the way they are.
Yeah,
and, like,
but again,
what sets the rules, and the idea of why isn't it this way, and it's kind of showing what happened, and it's kind of showing that other way in which things can happen. Now that being said, like I said, I just don't like how they executed it.
Well, like, it comes down to the fact that a lot of directors make this mistake because you have an interesting idea, but if you don't have interesting characters, you're not going to give a shit.
Yeah.
And like, I think a lot of these, like, visual storytelling, ambition, and innovation, all that stuff, they often underestimate how important fucking good characters are.
Yeah.
Because, like, they really will make or break your movie. I can't think of a movie like this that really worked despite bad characters. Can you?
Not really.
Exactly. Even like 2001 Space Odyssey, you can argue had decent characters in there. Even the monkeys had something going on.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like, the closest, like, the ending kind of reminded me of the Scarlett Johansson movie a few years ago.
Lucy?
No, Under the Skin.
Oh, okay.
Which, that's a great movie. I loved that movie. That one was also fascinating. It had similar themes over like aliens and life and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, again, also has interesting characters, has visual story... what's what I'm looking for? Trippy visual elements that you have to really sit down and think about to interpret what the hell's going on.
Yeah.
With very, very little dialogue. But you're still invested in what's going on because the characters are still interesting.
Yeah.
And that kind of keeps you on board. That's when you kind of start asking yourself, okay, what does this mean? What does that mean? Like, what is exactly going on here?
Yeah.
Because you're invested in the character's journey.
Yeah.
But if you don't give a shit, then you're like, well, this is just visual crap.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt about Mother, too. But I had other reasons. Like, this isn't as bad as Mother, in my opinion.
Like I said, I don't know. It's just, all I know is I didn't enjoy it.
To me, this feels like another director kind of gained up his own ass a bit. And forgetting what makes him good, like, more interesting, showing, like, ooh, look what we can do with this and this idea and that idea, rather than, like, how can we make this an interesting journey to go on?
Yeah.
And I feel like if a lot of directors, like, a lot of visual directors often forget to ask that question, and you end up with movies like this.
Yeah, I mean, which sucks, because, like, I freaking love Alex Garland. I've loved every one of his movies he's done.
What else has he done?
Ex Machina.
Okay.
Dredd, writer of 28 Days Later. Oh, sorry, he was the writer of Dredd and writer 28 Days Later.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really like Ex Machina. Ex Machina had good characters.
Yeah. And while having great themes at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like the whole movie was a Turing test.
Yeah. And that one was about the characters, and it was about, and they were very clearly defined. Not like in this movie. Everyone's doing dramatic acting in this movie. Where like nobody talks like an actual human being. They're all just doing like the dramatic. I saw things, deep things. They're so deep, you guys.
Okay, yeah, he was the writer of Sunshine.
I've seen Sunshine.
That was another movie that he and Danny Boyle made.
Okay.
It's an interesting movie. I felt like it had similar themes to this one. Mm-hmm. The idea is just the ending was pretty dumb.
In Sunshine or this movie?
In Sunshine.
Okay. I mean, it is what it fucking is.
Yeah.
Like, I can think of better movies like this that I'd rather be watching. Like, again, Under the Skin's a great one.
Yeah. Because, there was something else I will say I thought was kind of interesting, because they keep bringing up the idea of, like, the mentality and how that makes a person.
Mm-hmm. But mentality without exploring what is actually changing, you just end up with gibberish.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like we didn't get enough of the characters to really see. It's like...
No, and it doesn't feel earned.
Yeah.
Like when not Vesper. Ventress at the very end is they're doing her whole, like, monologuing before it turns into giant light ball.
Yeah.
Giant light testicle.
It's like... The testicle with the sphincter.
Yeah. It's like it doesn't feel like
oh my god, it's like she kind of turned into, it's basically we just got the sci-fi equivalent of the first Troll movie.
Oh my god. No, not the second one.
No, the first one where the people get poked to the ring and then they turn to some egg thing that hatches more creatures or some shit like that.
That's stupid.
Oh, you have no idea.
Oh, I kind of want to know now. But anyway, yeah, it just feels kind of like a lot of pretentious nonsense, this movie. When we really boil it down, it's more just the fact that it feels like an art student's work that just, he cared more about the ideas than actually making a great story out of it. And you can't do that. Yeah. You can't fucking do that. That feels like a rookie mistake.
Yeah. Like some people say, like, it's a great story. It's like, no, there really isn't much of a story.
It's not much of a story at all.
It's like, how do the characters really... It's like... Is there any real evolution in the characters? No, it's like...
No one has an arc. No one even really has that much of a character to begin with.
It's like I liked how they started off the characters. Like, you kind of get the idea of, like, their personalities and their backstories. Mm-hmm. But...
And, like, even then, like, some of the character motivations are so dumb. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Vin.
No, it's fine.
Like the whole thing with like Natalie Portman cheating on her husband with a black coworker at one point. They flash back to her at one point, which, by the way, must have been really irritating for the guys listening to her story. Like, okay, what happened after she turned to the plant girl? No, don't tell me what the fucking guy you cheated with. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Stay on task, Natalie Portman. Stay on task.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, they start off the chapter with those parts.
And remember your Prince of Persia, whenever you died, here we go, no, wait, that's what happened. That's not how it happened. Let me go back. But anyway, and then, so they have, like, the guy's like, you and I have a physical and mental connection, you know, it's just gonna be. He's like, I would like you to leave now. It's like, what? Like, you must face facts. Like, you're married.
Yeah.
Like, my wife has something to do. It's like, kind of does, dude. Like, when he goes like, you don't hate me, you hate yourself. It's like,
no, I hate
no, you can hate you too. You didn't cheat on you.
Yeah.
You just used you to cheat on her husband. So, like, at that point, it's like, you know, she doesn't need a deep philosophical reason to be mad at the fact that she cheated on your husband. Yeah. And that you cheated on your wife through her. So, really, like, fuck off.
I think it was also, supposedly it was meant to explain, like, the guilt as to why she felt so dedicated to trying to, you know, find out what was wrong with her. I was like, no, the fact that it's her husband that's been gone.
Yeah, like, that's what I was like, you don't need a deeper motivation. Like, hey, maybe she just loves him. Try that, Hollywood.
It's like, it's not complex, but at the same time, the whole cheating thing's unnecessary.
It doesn't need to be.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a wife looking for a reason to, like, fix her husband. What's wrong with that? That's plenty good reason.
Yeah.
I'm starting to question how human these writers and directors are, if they think you need that complex of a reason. But anyway, so the part that really was like, I'm like beyond stupid kidnapping scene that just fucking, to me, is like, I'm fucking done with this film, was their the physicist's explanation as to why everything is the way it is in this weird universe. It couldn't have been, like, I don't know, like genetics or like actual crossbreeding or maybe like DNA override or multiple other explanations that would have made more sense than what they went with.
I think that's what they were trying to say. It's just that was a really stupid euphemism.
Like, and no, like, they don't reference any other explanation. The only explanation goes like, oh, it's a prism that reflects light and radio waves and all that stuff. And they make it as that effect, like, it also must be refracting DNA. Not just plant DNA or animal DNA, but all DNA. That's like me, someone who studied reflection and refraction, was going, okay, that implies somehow DNA is reflective or like actually gives off some kind of No.
No, it's like I get it.
No. That's not how science works.
It's like, now to be fair, this is an orb where shit that should not be happening is happening. It's just, like I said, it was just a stupid explanation.
That was their explanation why this thing that should not be happening is. And it's like, you could have just gone with, like, DNA overriding. That would have been just as sciencey enough for me, like, okay, whatever, I'll go with it. It's kind of like in 2012 when they said, like, the reason everything is mutating is because the neutrinos have mutated.
Wait, 2012?
Yeah, remember that,
The disaster movie?
Yeah, the disaster movie. That was their explanation of why everything went topsy-turvy, was, like, neutrinos have mutated, and they're heating up the planet. And, like, the comedian had the best response to this. It was like, okay, if you actually know what neutrinos are, they're, like, billions and millions of particles go through every second. They can't fucking mutate. They might as well look down the camera and go, the electrons are angry. And I feel like that's kind of what this movie did too. Yeah. Where it's like, if you just throw enough like scientific jargon at you, you won't question it. Yeah. But I know what that shit is. I'm questioning like, no. DNA does not give off that kind of, does not give any kind of light or energy that could realistically be refracted in any way, shape, sense, or form. This explanation makes no sense. And even if it did, that is assuming that everything around that would absorb said radiation or reflection, which, okay, fine, but again, even if it did radiate that kind of power, it would not be enough to refract off whatever dumb-ass prism entrance are going up to reflect back on everything else around it. That makes no sense.
Yep.
The protons are pissy. And that was my rant about that. Sorry, that really irritated me.
Yeah.
Because I took 3 years of physics to look at all this shit. It's like I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I know that's not how it works. So, sorry. I had to get off my chest, because that was really annoying me. Are you looking at the...
Due to a poorly received test screening, David Ellison, a financier at Paramount, became concerned the film was too intellectual and too complicated.
That's cute.
And demanded changes to make it appeal to a wider audience, including making Portman's character more sympathetic and changing the ending. Producer Scott Rudin sided with Garland in his desire to not alter the film, defending the film and refusing to take notes. Rudin had a final cut.
Is this going to be like the mythical Snyder cut, where they said, like, oh, it would have been so much better if they just released Snyder's cut instead of the original cut?
Maybe.
I don't think it would have fixed the movie.
Probably not.
That's a nice idea, but I don't think it would have fixed shit. We have a crappy pretentious. It's got, again, like when they said they're like, I know I keep shitting on DC, but any of the DC movies are like, oh, they didn't with the original idea, the original vision was so great. It's like, no, it fucking wouldn't have.
Like, people are saying, it's like, yeah, it's this thing of like, yeah, exploration of challenging themes that should lead. What challenging themes are there?
It's not. It wants you to think there is.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It thinks it's deeper than it is. It's same issue with Mother, where it's just more like, okay, you think you're deep, but you're not, and you're just throwing a bunch of crap my way. Now, granted, I caught on to the themes of Mother faster than I did with this movie.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't change the fact it's still not delivered well because you don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at this point, I'm just kind of repeating myself. So, you got anything else you want to talk about with this movie?
Not really. It's just, like I said, it's like, there was something there. It's just, I think like we kind of both agree, it just kind of got up its own ass.
It needed a rewrite.
And it's just... It felt like it was. It felt like it was so focused on being like this
Deep.
visual. Yeah, this complexity and simplicity. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, this just got really muddled and confounding.
It just struck me as a movie as going, we're not creating a movie, we're creating art.
I'm fine with that. It's just.
But, like, we all know that one kind of director.
Mm-hmm.
The director has a vision and legitimately has a beginning, middle, end to how to deliver that. And I'm not saying Alex got on the face of this category, but with this particular movie, I feel like this might have been the mindset going in.
It was, because he both wrote and directed this.
But like, this feels much more of like a director I used to work with. He was thinking like, no, we're not just making Shameless Rebel Game of Thrones. We're making an artistic representation of Richard III. It's gonna be deep and meaningful. It's gonna be great. It's gonna wow. It made me think.
Oh yeah, it's just.
I didn't like it.
Yeah. It's still better than Cloverfield Paradox, though, which I felt like this is basically what this movie was, except with a bit more thought, but
I still gotta say that one.
way more pretentiousness. Here's the problem. Cloverfield Paradox is just a lot of cool shit for the sake of being, like, of having cool shit that makes no sense. This, I feel like there was thought. As I said, it just wasn't really executed the right way. Like, it was too ambitious, whereas this was just like, hey, let's throw in Cloverfield shit. Which actually was the case for that movie.
Yeah, that's kind of the case with all Cloverfield movies, except their first Cloverfield.
Yeah, because I know that's a lot of these movies get repurposed, but at least the first two Cloverfield movies were good.
Yeah, I mean, the second one was really good until the Clover part kind of snuck in.
Yeah.
Quick, crank the armadillo, alien.
All right. Well, should we talk about trailers?
Yeah, just wrap this up. So, first trailer we got. I just really want to watch Under the Skin now. That was a good movie. Hereditary was the first trailer.
That was the one that had like the kids that were like having a bunch of mental freakouts.
Oh, the A24 movie.
Yeah, which
Right,
I was like,
right.
what the hell? I was like, this looks like this might actually disturb me. I want to see this.
Could be. I don't know. Like that trailer was kind of like it's maybe it's just me because I'm tired this is like the only day I've had off in like a long fucking time. This is a lot of that's a lot of people screaming.
Yep.
And a lot of people doing stuff. I don't really know what else to go on this, but it could be good. It's an A24 movie. They usually release good stuff.
Yeah, it's done by the producers of The Witch, which I will admit, like, was...
I liked Witch better than you did.
Yeah. That was another case of, like, I saw they're going for, I just didn't really like it.
Fair enough.
So that was basically Mother to me, except I didn't have as strong of a reaction to it.
I think it's kind of hard to top my strong reaction to Mother.
Oh, yeah.
Of just... Shut up! Pile of noise. Then we got Pacific Rim 2.
Which we talked about.
Yeah, this is a newer trailer though.
Really? I thought this is the one that we've been seeing.
No, this is a different one.
Okay,
you went in the bathroom. You went in the bathroom.
Yeah, no, because I saw it before.
Oh.
I know which one it was because I've seen it online all the time. And I thought we talked about it elsewhere.
Well, maybe. Well, to be fair, you haven't reviewed a review just you mean a long fucking time.
That's true.
So I don't know. Like everyone's kind of like, it could be dumb fun. Probably like the first one more, but you know what? Like this one, if you're gonna mix Pacific Rim with Power Rangers, sure, whatever. I'm on board. Then we got Rampage.
I know that was the newer trailer.
Yeah, that was interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of want to see this.
It's like, you know what? It's got The Rock and Jeffrey Dean Morgan. That is all the stupid fun I'm gonna need.
Like this is like, you know what? Giant fucking gorilla
Batwolf.
versus Batwolf and Gator
Gator done.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm on board. It's gonna be dumb as shit, but I'm okay with it. It feels like it kind of knows it. So like if it has that self-awareness going in, it could be fun. Then we got the Sicario 2. This is another trailer. A movie I want to come out just so I stop seeing the fucking trailer for it. Because I've seen this exact same trailer 5,000 times.
Wait, for which one?
Sicario 2.
Yeah.
And I'm not really hopeful for it, to be honest.
I am even though it's got a different director, I'm hopeful because it has the same writer. But let's just hope. But then again, it feels like there's way less focus in this one. I can tell it's like...
This feels
I feel like Sicario had a point of making, a message about the idea of, like, nothing can be done. And this is just... It's kind of... It feels like it's trying to do...
This feels like it's trying to be Death Wish 2.
Yeah, without the moral ambiguity.
Yeah.
At least the thematic ambiguity, I guess.
Yes, I don't know. I love the first one, but I'm not optimistic with the sequel. Then we got Mission Impossible 6. Okay, I do want to talk about this one a little bit because it's the first time we've seen this trailer in theaters.
Yeah.
I saw, of course, in the Super Bowl. But I want to talk about Superman, Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Henry Cavill.
And or whatever you pronounce his name. In the now infamous mustache incident.
Yeah.
But you know what? It might be worth it because he does look pretty fucking badass in this.
Yeah. Because I think he's supposed to be the villain.
I don't know. I just know that like the shots he has in combat and the trailer are my favorite parts of that trailer, and I've watched that same part 5,000 times because it's fascinating to me.
The fighting or the helicopter?
No, the fighting part, because he fucking arms his fists like they're machine guns.
Yeah.
And it's like the only punch in the trailer I saw, he only does 2 jabs in there, but they looks like it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
Compared to anyone else with like his funky kung fu bullshit. No, he's like just going in with like a fucking bar brawl and just goes boom as hard as he could. It was like, oh, I want to see every fight he's in.
By the way, when you can, maybe I can show it to you later. Watch the BTS about the helicopter stunt. It is so cool to see it now because like that actually was all Cruise.
I mean, like at this point, Cruise has done enough crazy shit in these series. I like, whenever I see something like that in the trailers, like I 100% believe he did that.
Yeah.
Between Mission Impossible 4 when he climbed the tallest building in the world, Mission Impossible 5 where he hunted the side of an airplane.
Yeah.
And so like. He's doing flips on helicopter. Sure, yeah, okay.
Because what was the other part I liked though was like in that video though was it's like, how you guys feel about that? It's like, that was very upsetting. I think we got a shot.
I'm like, it's a Mission Impossible movie. The last couple ones were pretty good. So
everyone except for the second one has been good to me.
Yeah, I never saw the first one. I saw the third through sixth.
First one's on Hulu actually. I think. Third one, like wasn't great, but it was fun. Also, it was really weird seeing Aaron Paul in there.
There are some great, like Mission Impossible 3 does genuinely have some of the best scenes in the series.
Like the bit between the wife is a hostage scene.
Yeah, that was a great fucking scene.
That was one thing. It's like
anyone says that Tom Cruise can't act, watch that scene.
Yeah. It helps that he had oh god, I just forgot his name.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have a deep villain, but goddamn, he played a good creep in that.
He did, absolutely. But again, this movie just might be worth it just for Henry Cavill's gun fists.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't know what it is about that. Just like it's been a while since I've seen that much of a brawler in an action movie. And it's kind of refreshing.
Also, it's nice seeing Rebecca Ferguson back too.
Oh yeah, she is in that movie, isn't she?
Yeah. So it's kind of cool seeing like she's kind of on like the opposite side of him, like still a good guy, but now. Basically doing what Team Iron Man had to do for
Captain America 3?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last trailer, you got the new trailer for The Quiet Place.
I'm so excited for that one.
I hope it's good.
That looks to be just like as tense as fuck. I'm curious because it's Krasinski's directorial debut.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. Like, I know I made the joke to you, like, in the middle of the trailer.
Yes!
Just walking around, like, in the quiet. Don't make a sound.
That just dies from the gas poison.
Like, my concern is, like, something that Howard's been obsessing with finding plot holes for this premise, like, every chance he gets. Like, first off, Monopoly causes all the problems in this film.
What does?
Monopoly. It's like, just Monopoly ruins everything, is a general joke.
Yeah.
More like, okay, so Emily Blunt is pregnant in this. How are you going to raise a crying baby?
Well, clearly they addressed that. Well,
do they?
No, they know that it's like one of those things where, like, it's going to be a problem. It's just they don't have the heart to do things, even though they especially know what's going to happen once the baby comes out.
Fetch. I'm not proud of that joke. Never mind, you made it worse. Play a game of hot potato. No music. It's more like who's just goes missing. Oh God, I feel like a horrible person for that.
All right, well, I think that's about it then.
Yeah. So this week I got to see the Jennifer Lawrence movie, Red Sparrow. That's finally out.
I'll try and join you for that one if I can.
I've heard mixed things on that one.
Same here.
Because I've heard some movies like, oh, it's not bad. Some movies like, this is god awful. So like, okay, this will be interesting.
Yeah. Did you see Death Wish yet?
That one's still next week, so no, I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to that one.
Yeah, so
I will watch that with you because I've seen the original.
Cool. You got an open schedule next week?
Basically, as long as we don't do these on Wednesdays, I'm fine. Because those are my only work days.
You only work on Wednesday?
Well, there's my job that I can't. That's kind of harder to work around.
Gotcha.
Since I'll be in SF.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, it's to get out for those movies, and till then, thank you guys for watching. See you later.
Later.